My name is Robert Swan, and I'm delighted to share our story with you all today. It's a story about doing what you say you're going to do. And at the age of 11, I saw a film about the real explorers who went to the North and South Poles. And I made a commitment that one day I would become the first person to walk to the North and South Poles. And I was just so inspired that at last, maybe one day, I could visit this extraordinary ice kingdom at the bottom of the world, the Antarctic. After years of battle to raise money and keep things going, we now head to the South Pole, 900 miles on foot, 3 of us, 70 days on foot, really hard work, no backup, no radios, no way out if we made mistakes. And it was an extraordinary experience to be standing in an area twice the size of Australia and pretty much be on our own with no backup. And after 70 days, we reached the South Geographic Pole. It was a great moment. We were so proud of what we had achieved. And something happened to me walking to the South Pole that really brought me to come and speak to you all today. And my eyes changed color through damage. Our faces had blistered away, the skin came away. We didn't know why, but on return home, we were told by NASA that we'd walked under the hole in the ozone layer. It was discovered while we were walking, so it was a bit of a shock. The ultraviolet rays had come through the hole, hit the ice, bounced back and fried our faces off. And this started me thinking that maybe I should do something about our survival on this planet. First, we had to go to the North Pole. That was the dream. That was the commitment. Walking to the North Pole, you go every step away from the safety of land into the middle of a frozen sea. So every step is away from safety. And after 642 nautical miles, disaster strikes. The entire ocean melts beneath our feet. This had never happened in recorded Arctic history. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. That now, 30 years on from this, you can no longer walk to the North Pole. There is no ice. And we managed, with a huge struggle, to make it through this breaking ice cap. Last few miles to the pole, we got a bit of luck. The wind changed direction. It gave us a platform to stand at 90 degrees north. We had achieved this mission. And yes, I became the first person to walk to both poles, but I wouldn't have done it on my own. And we flew what I think is still an important flag on our planet. Went back home and was hauled in by our patron, the great Jacques Cousteau from France. He'd helped me, and he gave me 30 years ago a 50-year mission. He said, Rob, you've got to make sure that Antarctica, the only place in the world that we all own, that we leave it alone as a natural reserve land for science and peace. And we've been working on that mission now for 30 long years. I believe we should leave one place alone on Earth forever, for science and for peace. We've been on it. We've done it in 2 ways. One is to involve young people, because after all, they'll be voting in the year 2041. We've been south now with over nearly 4,000 people from 83 different nations. And I'm proud to say, and you'll hear why, that we've involved a lot of young people, businesswomen, businessmen from India. And India is such an important country, A, for our survival on the planet, but B, in 20 years, I'm hoping that India will play a very positive role in the preservation of Antarctica. What we see there is terribly frightening. More and more ice breaking off Antarctica. And I decided that I should go and visit India. Well, let me rephrase that. MR, my great friend, he said, Rob, you've got to go to India. And I said, okay, I'll go. And we decided together that to be relevant in India, I should go around India on a bicycle. Let me tell you, that this was the hardest thing I'll never do again, and possibly one of the more dangerous things to go around India on my own on a bicycle. But it was very relevant to young people at colleges, schools, and universities. I'm very proud of this picture on my way around India on my bike. And as we went round India, we started the second part of our mission, which was, yeah, we need to inspire young people, but we also need to inspire the use of clean, renewable energy around the world. Because guess what? If we're using more clean, renewable energy, no one's going to go and exploit Antarctica, and possibly one will be able to breathe slightly easier in India. Let me just tell you something. After bicycling around India for 3 years, 6,000 miles, my lungs have only just recovered, and that's something I did about 6 years ago. So we need to improve the air quality. And as I went round India, I came across some of the most extraordinary garbage and rubbish dumps I've ever seen. This one's just outside Bombay. It happens to have the privilege of being the biggest waste dump on the planet. And there I met some extraordinary women. Ladies and gentlemen, I was so proud of these women. They were going into the dumps in Bombay and pulling out various things and then recycling them. And I followed that journey on my bike around India, and eventually I was able to deliver some desks to young people who'd never had desks before in the middle, all made of recycled plastic bottles. Very proud of that. Went up to the high into the Himalayas, saw the source of the Ganges River at Gomukh there. That glacier is melting, only provides 450 million people with water. And going up there, not only was it a very holy place, it really made me think about, even in India, we need to be thinking about the Himalayas actually melting, and working with a fantastic team at the Global Himalayan Expedition Team. We've gone up, built an education station only running on renewable energy in Ladakh, showing young people how renewable energy can work properly. We go up into the Himalayas every year and give monasteries and villages electric light for the first time. We really, really try hard to be positive and show that solutions can actually happen. And this young man had to do his homework after 6 o'clock at night because we gave him a solar light. And every year, Antarctica is melting more and more and more. More ice goes into the ocean, up comes the sea level. And working with my son Barney, a great friend of MR, and his daughter Zena, it's just great stuff to have families working together. And my son convinced me that this ocean rise may not matter to us so much in the West, where we can build walls. It matters a hell of a lot to people who can't build walls. So together, we're trying to preserve Antarctica, and Barney's got his mission to inspire young people on solutions. We can't just be angry about the state of our planet. We've got to effect solutions. So together, my son and I would make a journey only surviving on renewable energy to the South Pole, using NASA technology to melt ice and snow, this time led by incredible women, Johanna and Katinka from Norway and Sweden. And off Barney and I went, incredible stuff. And I got 97 miles from the South Pole, fell over, dislocated my hip, which meant I was out. Barney would carry on, incredible effort by him. And ladies and gentlemen, imagine the disappointment at my age, especially, to not reach the South Pole when I thought I could. But I've had a brand new hip put back in, and at the end of this year, my son Barney and I will go back on our undaunted journey to the South Pole and finish that mission. Just before that, this November, we're taking more young people, lots of people coming from India, lots of business people coming from India. Please join us back to Antarctica on our ship. So my message is pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen. In order to make any change in life, one must have commitment, and one must deliver on one's word. And I hope in our own very small way, we've tried to show that. And I believe these words I think they're very important. You know, it's not somebody else's problem, it's ours. And I just want to thank MR so much for his terrific support of me. And as I say, I've never really been the same ever since going around India on the bicycle. And I just want to thank you and wish you all the very, very best of luck with your wonderful get together for India today. This is Rob Swan, going clear.